Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Shot Talk with Logan and Noah. Today's format is going to be a little bit different. We're not really going to do a 7 for 7 or hot takes today. We're kind of going to go what's current with the world right now, and we're going to talk about March Madness. And so what we're kind of going to give you is, at least I'm going to go through the West, the East, the South, and then the Midwest. Give you my most interesting teams out of all of those regions, and then who I got going to the Final Four. And then Noah, what's kind of your format for today?
Yeah, I'll probably do about the same thing. We're going to give each other our takes. We haven't even really discussed this, so We'll see what each other think. And then we'll see what you guys think.
Yeah, and then we'll also get some opinions from Rufus behind the studio. Behind the scenes, not studio. So it's going to be a little different, a little more laid back, relaxed, and enjoy the show. So to begin with the West, right? The most interesting team I have coming out of the West, let me just start that, there we go, is Grand Canyon University. Okay?
You like Grand Canyon?
I do, and I know this is a very oddball pick coming in at a 15 seed, right? But coming into the tourney, okay, they're 17-6. This is their first tourney bid ever, first time coming to the dance, and they rank, at least this year, they rank among the nation's best in opponent field goal percentage. And then their sophomore, Javion, I think his last name is Blackshear, has a really, really, really hot hand coming out of the WAC tourney. And because he won the MVP there, and in the, I believe it was semifinals, he put up 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And then in the final, he put up 19.7 rebounds and 2 assists. So that coming into the tourney, plus the dub, I think Grand Canyon really has, it's an interesting team to look at coming out of the West.
Okay.
What about you? You got an interesting team you're looking at? Or what are you kind of
I don't have specific teams. I guess I do.
Yeah.
But I kind of just chose my favorite matchups for the first round.
Okay.
First matchup I liked when I looked at this West region was the Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara matchup. That's a 5 versus 12.
Okay, yep. I'm just looking it up here.
And what's interesting is that, UC Santa Barbara is actually very capable of upsetting Creighton there. It's a 5 versus a 12, right? Like I said.
Do you have a record for
I do not have an overall record for UC Santa Barbara.
Do you mind looking that up for me, Lucas? I want to know what that is, because Creighton just got blew out by Georgetown.
Yeah, they looked bad. They looked bad in the that final game in the Big East final.
And Georgetown's only. Hold on, let me get to my notes here. Where are they at? Come on, where are you boys at? Georgetown's 13-12.
Yeah, Georgetown came into the Big East tournament with a losing record. Ended up winning the whole thing. Giving them an automatic bid. And they blew out Creighton. And they blew out... who'd they play before Creighton? I
forget, but...
I think it was Seton Hall.
Was it?
I want to say Seton Hall. But they blew out 2 of the 4 teams that they played. And so Creighton looked really bad in that Big East tournament.
So they're 22-4. Oh, they're actually really not that bad. UC Santa Barbara.
15-3.
In the conference,
22-4 overall.
With a 5-game win streak coming into the
tournament.
And
they're on a 5-game win streak coming in the tournament.
That's pretty decent.
So UCSB coming in hot. Creighton coming in not. You know what I mean? Right. Creighton runs all their stuff through their point guard, Marcus Zagorowski. And I really think if UC Santa Barbara can kind of shut that down, keep them from playing the game that they've been used to playing, then... UC Santa Barbara might be able to pull off an upset there.
You think that's a very possibility?
I think that's a very, very possible thing that could happen. And then the other one that I liked a lot is the Virginia-Ohio matchup.
What does Ohio have that you like against
Virginia?
I didn't look into that matchup.
Yeah, buddy.
What is Ohio ranked up there? They are 13.
They're 13 playing 4-seed Virginia.
Why do you like that?
Virginia for the first time in what feels like forever
Yes.
is much more efficient on the offensive end than they are on defense. Their defense isn't bad, but it's not
So you
as
think that's
good
their
as it
Achilles
is.
heel?
I think that's going to hurt them a little bit.
But it's
Ohio,
Virginia we're talking about.
It is Virginia. Good coach, good team.
Great coach.
Historically, Ohio's got this kid named Jason Preston. Okay. Really interesting story. I'm not going to go into all of it, he's a really good player.
Do you have averages?
He's averaging 16, 7, and 7. Ohio played Illinois at the beginning of the season, ended up losing by 2.
Okay.
He played out of his mind. This Ohio team just won the MAC. They're very, very good, dude. It's a damn good team.
Are you sold on his story, or
I'm
the
sold
team?
that Jason Preston can lead this team. I have them going to the Sweet 16. I think this Ohio team
in this bracket.
In this bracket, I have
bracket?
them upsetting Virginia first round. I have UC Santa Barbara upsetting Creighton. So Ohio gets UC Santa Barbara in the round of 32, beats UC Santa Barbara, goes to Sweet 16, and now we got a little Cinderella story brewing, and then they'd run into Gonzaga. I have Gonzaga beating them, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they're gonna have a little fun. I think Jason Preston's gonna put up some pretty legit numbers, and he's gonna be a first rounder, no doubt.
That's wow. Okay. Ohio and UC Santa Barbara are, I guess, UC Santa Barbara, your interesting teams.
Those are my interesting matchups. I have Gonzaga winning the entire region, but I have those two teams making a little bit of noise.
So you have the Zags coming to the Final Four.
I do have the Zags coming to the Final Four out of the West.
So at my team going to the Final Four, I have Oregon beating Virginia. Okay. And I guess that'd be the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. Oregon's a 20-16. Their rank is, where is it? It was Oregon 7. So they're 7th seed. And so prior to the Pac-12 tourney, they won 11 out of 12. They have 2 players that are averaging 16.8 points per game, so almost 17 points per game. 2 of them. They're really, really good behind the arc, and they have a deep bench, right?
Okay.
So those are some damn good check marks to check off the list as far as what you need in the tourney to go deep. And I think Oregon has when you put up, I guess, Oregon versus Gonzaga, that's a hard matchup, right? But I think Oregon is just, I don't know, I like the way they clicked, and from the games that I did see in the highlights, it was a fun game to watch.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
Okay, so you got Oregon beating Iowa, beating Kansas, and beating Gonzaga to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a run.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a run.
Actually, I might have some of those teams out before Oregon even plays them.
That's fair. You think Iowa loses first round?
I think I have Zags out of the round of 32.
Playing who? Virginia?
Yeah, something like that. Let me see your little bracket here. I have, let's see, Gonzaga wins the first one, and then they lose to Oklahoma. Yeah.
Okay.
They lose to Oklahoma. Yeah.
You have Gonzaga losing to Oklahoma
in the round of 32.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah, it's a weird year, dude.
It is a weird year.
No judgment can be placed.
No, absolutely not. No. Nobody knows.
No, you can't. You really. I mean, the ball is so up in the air right now as far as who, because you have teams Duke and Kentucky that don't even make the tourney. You have Michigan State on the bubble as far as a team of 68. Yeah. You know, like this tournament's weird. Yeah. Alabama's a 2 seed. West Virginia's a 3 seed. It's a weird ass year to play college basketball.
It's a very weird year.
As far as Grand Canyon or Oregon coming out of the West, I'm very confident in both of those.
Okay, all right.
And shout out to actually some people who might be watching this. They're going to be a fan of the Grand Canyon one as well.
You think so?
Oh yeah, GCU. I have some GCU people out there.
Okay.
They're happy with that pick.
Okay. Shout out GCU. Come on now, getting a little love.
Shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, moving on to the East. You want to start us there?
Moving on to the East.
Yes, sir.
My favorite matchup, my most interesting matchup that I chose out of the East.
Out of the East.
Is the Georgetown versus Colorado matchup.
Okay. I like that one too. I think I actually really like that. Why? Why do you like that? Because I think Georgetown's I didn't even think it might be favored Georgetown.
It's tough. Georgetown obviously going in, like I said earlier, going into the Big East tournament, had a losing record.
Right.
Right now, they're hot.
They are.
Right? So going into the tournament, they're going into this first round like, we're ready to throw it up, dude. We're ready to run the score.
I mean, and the head coach is Patrick Ewing.
And they got Patrick Ewing running the head coach.
Ewing, yeah.
Georgetown, they're long, they're athletic, they rebound the ball well. But Colorado's a good team too.
I haven't seen them play.
Colorado's not bad at all. Colorado's the 5.
I know, but why are they a 5? Do you have any idea?
What's Colorado's overall record, Lucas?
I don't know how Colorado got a 5 seed. I haven't heard of them. I don't really know. They're in the Big East.
Colorado's not in the Big East.
What are they? Are they Pac-12? I think they might be. Are they Big 12? I mean, hold on.
Just Google Colorado. I don't know. I forget what conference they play in.
Yeah, Colorado men's basketball.
We got an overall.
Yeah, there we go. 22-8.
22-8.
What are they? Are in the Pac-12? Okay, I thought so. So yeah, 22-8. Above them is USC and Oregon.
USC and Oregon both being very good teams.
Yeah, so I mean that's actually a damn good conference right there.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And then you got UCLA who's playing in
so they
versus
have
Michigan
big wins
State
too. Then
so Oregon, USC, Colorado, and UCLA all going into this tournament.
Right.
Also Oregon State getting into this tournament.
They would have had to play almost all of those people. Right?
Oregon State ended up pulling off a bunch of upsets, getting an automatic bid out of this thing. Probably wouldn't have gotten one otherwise.
Okay.
But yeah, Colorado's a pretty decent team. So that's what makes this so interesting is because Colorado is a very solid basketball club, but Georgetown is hot right now.
Who do you think comes out of that matchup? Honestly, like, do you think Georgetown can stay hot, or do you think I mean, it looks to be, I guess,
What did I write down here? Who did I take? I took Georgetown over Colorado.
You did take Georgetown?
I took 12 over 5 there. Trying to call a little upset. Okay. But it could go either way. Yeah. I feel like this game is kind of a coin flip. It depends on if Georgetown comes out looking like they did before the Big East tournament or the way they did against Creighton.
I mean, it looks like they play well in tournament play, right? I mean, and chemistry kind of flows, kind of clicks.
And you got the head coach that's been there, done that kind of thing. So it's like...
Because, I mean, my most interesting team was Georgetown, at least in the East, mainly because of what they did in that Pac-12 tourney, looking like ass to begin with, and then absolutely shredding the competition, going all the way to the top, and then blowing out Creighton 48.
Yeah.
I mean, to do that right in a seems like very difficult conference as far as what we just looked at, to do it against a pretty respectable team in Creighton. And then you also have these top three players on Georgetown's team. Top one is averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds. Number 2 is averaging 11 points, 12 rebounds, and then 10 points, 8 rebounds.
Is that Javon Blair leading in scoring?
I think so.
Yeah. So that Javon Blair has a big part in this. If Javon Blair has to keep scoring points, if Javon Blair doesn't keep scoring points the way he has, then they're not going to win this game.
But those are ridiculous numbers coming from 3 of your starters.
Yeah.
I mean
absolutely it is.
That's almost 3 of your guys averaging doubles.
And in the Big East, it's like they might have had a losing record coming into that Big East tournament, but it's the Big East. Big East is a very, very physical, tough, grinded out league. Yeah. And so playing in that league for anybody is tough.
The Big East is not an easy
and the
conference.
fact that they went and did what they did in that Big East tournament was very impressive.
Very.
So we'll just see. We'll have to see. In the East, I do have Texas coming out, but I do have Georgetown making a little bit of noise.
Who do you have Texas playing? Who are they beating?
Texas beats Florida State
in the Elite Eight
to get to the Final Four.
Wow. So then, who do you have them up against in the Final Four?
Gonzaga.
So you have Texas? No. Yes, Texas versus Gonzaga. What is Texas ranked? They are...
Texas is a 3?
Yeah, 3 seed. So you have a 1 versus a 3. What? I mean... So then how far do you have Georgetown going in the East? You said until...
Georgetown, I have them losing to Florida State in the round of 32. But like I said, if they're hot, they're hot.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, I think they can catch fire pretty easily, considering that. I mean, they do have weapons on the outside. You have a veteran coach, and like I said, you have 3 guys almost averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
But my team going into the Final Four from the East is LSU, and I know that might be a little shocking to some people, right? Because they just lost to Alabama in the SEC championship. But I liked what I saw from LSU in that game.
They're scary talented.
They're really good.
They got horses in the fucking
number
barn, dude.
2,
They're a good team.
Whoever number 2 is, and then the other guy, I forget his name or his number, but the 2 guys we were watching, very impressive to watch that game. I mean, he was jacking up threes, and when he seemed like he got a run and got on something, that seemed very scary.
Absolutely. If LSU gets hot, they could be scary.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That seemed like that could actually be something to watch out for.
100%.
Because, they're 18-9 coming into this. Like I said, they're the SEC runner-up. Cameron Thomas is averaging 22.8 points a game. Watford is averaging 16.2 points a game. And Smart is averaging 15.7 points a game.
Right.
So when you have 3 players coming in averaging over 15 points a game, that's 45 points right there. And that's just there. You know what I'm saying? And for college basketball, 45 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, it is.
And from coming from 3 players, you still have 2 other starters and then the whole bench mob.
And then your whole bench, yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's a pretty good team. And then... But the only note I kind of have on them as far as where they could improve upon and what would make their game better in the tourney, and this seemed to be just one thing that almost went across their whole season so far, is that if they want to make a difference, LSU has to find some balls and D up.
Oh, 100%.
Their defense is terrible. Their transition defense, as far as when they had like a 2v3 or like a fast break, they give up. Their big men are slow. Look like if they were to play like a UNC, a conditioned team, you get their asses out of the water. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're terrible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When it comes to defense, and when it comes to 3-point ball, it looks like they like to guard the paint more than they do the arc. It doesn't seem like LSU is caught. It seems like they're still playing Shaq ball.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. But so that's the only thing that they need to improve upon. But if coach, I forget their coach, but if they can get that right before the games start, which is in March 18th or something like that.
This week sometime.
If they can do that, I think they are a pretty good threat coming out of the East.
Yeah, 100%.
But you got anything else for the East, or are you good?
That's all I got for the East.
Okay.
Lucas, who do you
have
have coming out of... We skipped you for the West. Who do you have coming out of the West going to the Final Four?
We still got about 3.5 minutes, so who you got West, who you got East?
For Final Four?
Yeah.
My West is Virginia.
Okay.
Just because I'm
hometown
from
boy.
Virginia.
Yeah, that's fair.
And East, I've got LSU.
LSU, see,
Gotcha.
we rode together on that.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Same thing. Louisiana, Virginia.
Right. I mean, hometown ties.
Yeah,
that's fair.
yeah.
So, okay. Well, yeah, so those are our West and East picks. We're going to go to a break real quick, come back with the South and Midwest, and that'll basically wrap up our show. Catch you on the other side. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So now we're going to talk about the South and the Midwest. So my most interesting team, and I guess you could tie it with my Final Four team.
Okay.
Is the, kind of like Ohio State thing right there.
Yeah.
The University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
It works like that though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't kind of like
Maybe
a ring.
New thing.
It's like a coin. You know, like a coin flip is satisfying. It was like one of those. Anyway, so they're 18-10,
yeah.
And I know it's like a I don't know. I know there's a lot of skepticism in UNC this year.
There is.
You're not even bringing them out of the round of 64.
I'm not.
So they don't even. I mean, they're just making an appearance, I guess, on your bracket. But I think they're in a hot enough streak right now that it might catch fire. Okay, I think they have, and I didn't even know this, but they have one of very hot. They have basically one of the best offensive rebound.
Yeah, no, they crash the offensive
teams.
boards harder than anybody in the country.
They're one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
their 3 forwards are averaging basically 7 rebounds. And out of the past 6 games, they've won 4, and 2 of them being Florida State and Virginia Tech. So I kind of feel like they're in a good they're hitting momentum at a good time right now. And if you look at Roy Williams' shoe game on a nightly basis, it's absolutely ridiculous. He brings out the absolute fire on the feet.
Oh, he's with it.
And I don't think that's going to stop as long as with the suits. The suits and the shoes are just going to be on point.
Wears good suits, too.
And I think he brought enough suits to take home to the ship.
I bet he did.
And I honestly think they can be...
You know who also did that?
I think they can be a
Pitino.
threat. Well, we don't have to compare. There's a big difference. There's a big difference, I feel like, there as far as Rick Pitino and Roy Williams. That was very disrespectful, what you just did right there.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you just put them in the same
There's
category.
a lot of coaches that are showing up with, more than one suit.
Yeah, but, I mean... They all have the idea that they're going to do a lot more. But I think UNC's got it. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
I would hope so.
You're a loyal fan. I'll give you that.
It's UNC.
You're a very, very loyal fan. They're just a little bit sloppy for me. They're a little bit inconsistent for me. And they're way too young for me. And they're playing first round. They drew, which was kind of an unlucky draw. They drew Wisconsin. Wisconsin is
not that hot.
Not that hot, but they...
And as far as I'm concerned, an 8 seed is better than a 9 seed.
That's fair, it is.
The committee did that, not me.
But this is March, and you don't know what'll happen. Wisconsin's got a very veteran-filled roster.
That's fair.
They've been there, they've done that. Demetric Trice is one of the best guards in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to go off. I think he's going to show everybody how good he is. They run good offense. They play good defense. They're very disciplined. Brad Davidson is one of the best competitors that college basketball has ever seen. So I think UNC got a little unlucky with the first-round draw, and I don't think...
But do you think Wisconsin can stay up with that high-tempo offense? I mean, they might be young, but it's not like it's a different Roy Williams facility. I mean, they're still running high-tempo. You still got to keep up with the up-down, up-down. I mean, that's just how UNC ball runs.
But the thing about Wisconsin
last time I checked, Wisconsin only recruits very big white men.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the thing about Wisconsin is, and what makes them Wisconsin and a very tough team to beat whenever you play them, no matter who they have, is that they take the ball out of your hands and slow the game down, limiting possession time for North Carolina. If they can limit the amount of times that North Carolina and R.J. Davis and all those guys touch the ball, then North Carolina doesn't have enough chances to run up the score, and if it comes down to it, I'm taking veterans over rookies, and Wisconsin wins at the end of a game.
But when it really comes down to it, who's really the veteran, who's really the rookie? Coaching. I mean, it's there. He's got the pedigree.
My only problem is Roy Williams can't get out on the floor. And that's why they're 18-10, having one of their worst seasons they've had in quite some time.
No, it's not pretty.
But it's a good team. It's a good team. They do crash the offensive boards really hard, and
they have a decent defense.
100%. Yeah, they can
very
play. It just depends
on
what night you get them on. You know what I mean?
100%. But for your South,
for my South, I have a couple matchups that I like. Okay. First one.
I'm assuming UNC's not in those?
Not in those.
Okay.
First one that I like is Nova versus Winthrop.
Okay.
That is another 5 versus 12. And anybody that's watched the NCAA tournament for a long time knows that the 5-12 matchups are always super controversial.
Damn good games.
Super good games, super hard to call.
Yeah.
12s, if I'm correct, there were 4 12 versus 5s this past year, and 3 of the 12 seeds beat the 5 seed this past tournament.
So last year, 75% of the 12s went on to the next round.
I believe so. I could be wrong. Somebody can fact check me, but I'm pretty sure that is a true stat. My thing with it is that Villanova came into this season, and for the majority of the regular season, they're a top 10 team, and they were looking like they could make a run into the Elite Eight, maybe Final Four, could even go to the national championship. And then tragedy struck. You lose Colin Gillespie to an MCL injury, and now you don't have your veteran, gritty point guard that you've had for the last 4 years running point.
It's very, yeah.
So when you take out
Tragedy.
one of the best leaders in college basketball off your team, who's been there through thick and thin for 4 years now, your team changes a little bit.
I mean, that's the whole team right there almost.
You got Jeremiah Robinson-Earls, top 3 player in the Big East,
Yeah.
and he's a very good player. But he's going to have to take on an amount of responsibility that he's not used to. The backup point guard is going to have to take on some responsibility that he's not used to.
Everybody's role just went up a level.
And everybody's role just got way more important because you got the
just
most
climbed the
important
ladder.
guy on your roster is now
on
gone.
the bench. Or actually home probably.
So it's super interesting. Winthrop plays very fast. They put up a lot of points. And I guess they got this 6'7" point guard named Chandler Valdrin, or however you say his name.
Yeah.
They're saying he'll drop a triple-double on your head whenever.
In college?
Yeah.
What?
I guess he's
Like
pretty
a Russell
legit.
Westbrook triple-double or like a triple-double?
A triple-double. I don't know how he's getting it. Obviously, nobody watched Winthrop play a lot of basketball unless you're
that's
a Winthrop fan.
I
Respect
didn't.
to you guys. You're in the tournament. That's awesome. But nobody watched your games,
No,
and that's
nobody
not
did.
your fault.
It's
But
not.
it is at the same time.
Yeah,
and
and
that's,
you are Winthrop.
and that's not your fault again. But that's what makes it interesting is this is not the same Villanova team that we've watched the whole year. You know
No,
what I
it's
mean? This
not.
is very different. They did just get beat by Georgetown in the Big East tournament. And so this team is very, very vulnerable right now, which makes them very liable to get beat by this 12 team in Winthrop.
That'd be a mighty upset right there.
It would be.
It would. I mean, I wouldn't mind it because I hate Villanova, especially with.
Villanova, I love me some Villanova, dude. They play good basketball.
You just question why I hate them when you damn well know why I hate Villanova.
Oh, okay. Historically speaking,
They
I
literally hit a
understand why you have
buzzer
a
beater
slight
in my
vendetta.
mouth
Yeah, I do.
for
No, it
a
was
possible
nasty.
back-to-back championship. It could have went 16-17, but they're assholes. Where is Villanova? Do we know?
Villanova's in PA.
Oh, I almost said fuck Pittsburgh, but my stepmom is from there, so I can't do that. Fuck Villanova though. Villanova, not Villanova. That's a whole player.
Villanueva,
That's a
bro.
whole player in the NFL. I'm sorry. I apologize. He's a veteran too. I didn't mean to say that. Fuck Villanova.
Second matchup that I thought was very interesting
Uh-huh.
was number 4 Arkansas playing number 13 Colgate.
Why do you pick these? Colgate is ass.
Colgate's not ass.
They're 14. What do you mean they're not ass? They're 14. Colgate is toothpaste.
Just because they're 14 doesn't mean they're bad.
It's toothpaste.
It is toothpaste, but
Who
they're
would
also
you-
a basketball team,
who-
and they're also in the NCAA tournament, so
who
you
would
can't
you-
deny that.
who-
They're-
hey,
they
what
got
would
the
you
same
put on your-
chance as UNC. They got the same chance as Gonzaga.
No, this is going to answer the question right here.
Yeah,
Do you have Colgate or Crest in your bathroom?
Crest.
Facts right there.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
a shitty
Colgate.
toothpaste, but it's
a
not
shitty team,
that
too.
bad of a basketball team. Dude,
It's a
there's two
shitty
different
team.
things. We're comparing apples and oranges, and now we can get into it,
No,
dude.
dude.
Colgate, very good offensive team that can shoot the lights out. Okay? Arkansas played the whole year in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
SEC basketball is some of the sloppiest basketball in the entire nation.
We just watched LSU Alabama. That was the worst last 5 minutes of a championship basketball game I've ever seen. That was
It's
absolutely
gross, dude.
terrible.
It's disgusting to watch, and if you're a real basketball fan, if you really know how the game works, then you'd realize that.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting.
I mean,
Arkansas,
we
if
come
Arkansas,
from watching Big Ten, so it's a lot different.
Yeah, exactly. So if Arkansas has an off day, they're only a 4. That means they're not even the leading team in the SEC. So, I mean, Arkansas has an off night. Colgate shoots the lights out, and Arkansas goes home quick. I'm taking Arkansas in that matchup, but that is an upset alert that it could very well happen.
But, dude, I don't see Colgate.
Telling you right now, dude. Telling you right now. I'm taking Arkansas.
Okay,
I'm taking
I'm
Arkansas.
going to ask this out of decency and respect.
Yeah.
If this was a matchup, who wins? UNC versus Colgate. Because you're not taking either of them out of the first round.
Upset alert, bro.
That's fucking terrible of you.
I'm not saying Colgate will beat them. I'm saying Colgate has a good chance.
That's not true, dude. That's so not
It's
true.
March, bro.
Anyways, the Midwest. That was terrible. That was.
Hang on. Who you got coming out of the South?
I have UNC.
You said that already. Who do you have coming
Who
out
do
of
you
the South?
have coming out of the South?
1 second. I can tell you.
While he looks for that, I have Ohio State winning the South region after upsetting Baylor. That is where I stand.
Villanova.
You got Villanova.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little Villanueva action.
Little Villanova. Yeah, no, UNC. I like them. UNC, Villanova, and Ohio State.
Ohio State. That is South.
I
region
only
for
did
you.
Villanova because I don't like Ohio State.
Who did you have Villanova
fair.
beating?
I'm pretty sure Ohio State.
Was it Ohio State? Yeah. Are you checking her?
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
You are, okay. Is it? Oh.
Oh no, I had them beating North Carolina.
Oh.
And then Ohio State. So both, but I had them beating North Carolina.
Oh, that's so gross. Both of you guys are. Okay, Midwest. The most interesting team I have coming out of the Midwest, and this is actually, when I did research, this was really, really surprising. But I am very confident in this team that this team could probably do something. I didn't have them necessarily doing anything on my bracket, but theoretically, this team could definitely do something.
Okay.
Liberty, 23-5 is their overall record. Did not know that. Very surprised when I searched that. Won the past 12 straight coming into the tournament. They're on a 12-game win streak. Their biggest games, I guess their biggest games that they played this year were all fairly close. The biggest margin of a game was against Purdue, and that was 77-64. Still with a 10-point game though. Not just over a 10-point game.
Go Boilers.
Mississippi State, they won that 84-73. They beat South Carolina 78-62.
South Carolina's ass.
Well, I know, but this is Liberty's schedule we're talking about.
It's true shit. True shit.
And they did lose to TCU, but again, these are the biggest names I'm trying to pull from Liberty's schedule. Okay.
So the biggest names, they lost all of them.
No,
Where's your point?
There was 2 dubs in there, and you weren't listening. Pay the fuck
Who did
attention.
they beat? Who were the
South
big
Carolina
teams?
and Mississippi State. Pay the fuck attention, okay? They're ranked number 1 in conference for 3-point percentage, coming in at almost 40%.
What conference they play in?
I don't know. I didn't.
Look up what conference Liberty plays in.
I was hoping nobody was going to ask that, so I could just say conference. And it just sounded a lot.
That's so fair.
And then you had to ask a fucking stupid ass question. You just had it.
Is it the A-Sun? I want to say.
No, it is the ASUN.
I
Atlantic
wanna
Sun
see- yeah.
Conference.
Yeah.
So they are first in the Atlantic Sun Conference in 3-point percentage at basically 40 and free throw percentage at 77. And then their leading guard, Darius McGee, is averaging 3.3 3-pointers a game. Okay. So I think honestly, right, they don't have competition to really give them a fair comparison to as far as how good they are. But I think a team that's on a 12-game win streak that has, they're up there right now, right? Spirits wise, I think they can come in hot. And if you have a guy averaging three-pointers, and you are ranked right, best free throw and 3-pointers, those are 2 categories that not a lot of teams can say they have. Mm-hmm. And those 2 categories can actually make a huge difference in a ball game, especially the free throw line.
Absolutely.
So I think they can make a somewhat of maybe an impact in the Midwest Conference, and I think it'd be interesting to see what they do.
I'm sorry. You have Liberty beating Oklahoma State?
100%. 100%.
Hot take.
I completely disagree.
No, that's so fair.
Wholeheartedly.
I'd love to hear where Rufus's fact checks come from.
Well, okay. One, what the fuck is the A-Sun Conference?
True shit, dude.
And
Go.
2, then we look in the A-Sun Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty is the only college in that conference that I have even heard of.
Well, you're not very.
Who else have I heard of?
You're not well rounded in sports.
You got
this isn't
Stetson.
fair.
You got Lipscomb.
Lipscomb.
Bellarmine.
Jacksonville is actually pretty good. North Alabama.
These all sound like
Jacksonville's
diseases.
not pretty good.
I'm not
Kennesaw
talking about
State's
basketball.
not
I'm talking
pretty
about
good.
basketball. Yeah.
So they shoot the ball well in the A-Sun.
Guys, we can make fun of our conference as well. I hope we all know this. We don't come from a very good conference either. I'm just saying this is an interesting team.
Absolutely.
At 23-5 coming in.
No,
it is
but I
interesting.
don't think they have a chance at beating Oklahoma State.
Comparatively, let's just say, okay, so Liberty's coming in at a 13, Oklahoma State's a 4.
I guarantee if
Purdue's
we go
a 4.
look at some
Liberty
of
played
your
Purdue.
14 seeds, 15 seeds, their conferences are ass as well.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm just saying. Let's put it into perspective. So Liberty's playing 4-seed Oklahoma State.
Yes.
They already played Purdue, correct?
Yes.
Who's also 4-seed.
Yes.
What was the score in the Purdue game?
77-64.
Okay. So they can put up points.
They can put up points.
They
for
absolutely
sure.
can. But Oklahoma State's a better team than Purdue.
100%. No, they definitely are, and that shows in the ranks.
I don't know. It's like if the dude can put up 3.3 3-pointers and against Lipscomb, can he still do it against Oklahoma State?
Right,
Don't know.
and that's what nobody knows.
But nobody knows that, right?
But you also, I mean, you definitely have to look at it like, I mean, momentum is huge, especially in basketball.
100%.
When you can get 12 games under your belt and then go into a tourney, I think that has something to do with it too, regardless of who the fuck you play.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, yeah, they I guess they could make some noise. I don't see it happening, but they could definitely do it. For me, though, my most interesting team, and this is very hot take. It's Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech just won the ACC. They're coming off a win versus Florida State in that championship game.
Okay. Georgia Tech, who do they play? Georgia Tech plays Loyola. Okay.
Georgia Tech plays Loyola in the first round. 9 versus 8. Georgia Tech's the 9, Loyola's 8. But what I have them going for, and I don't have numbers, I don't have reasons, I don't have anything other than pure gut feeling.
So my argument for Liberty is more valid than yours. Go ahead.
100%.
Okay.
No, absolutely it is. But what I got, a little March special, okay? Upset Loyola. Go to the round of 32.
Yep.
Upset Illinois. Go to the Sweet 16 and lose. Oklahoma State comes out of the Midwest, but Georgia Tech blows things up and fucks everyone's bracket except for mine.
So why can Georgia Tech fuck everybody's bracket, but Liberty can't?
Oh, I don't agree with him.
There's not going to be a lot of people that agree with me. So, preface, I understand that's a hot take. But that's a hot take too. Yeah, we both threw out some upset calls.
I just feel like my ass was chewed.
No, it wasn't chewed.
From somebody who doesn't even know sports.
I thought it was really funny.
Hey, I'll have you know, I watched an Oklahoma State game the other day.
Yeah, he did.
And it was very good.
Yeah, he did.
Can we preface that A in that sentence real quick? A Oklahoma State game.
I saw what I needed to see.
He said, that's my winner, motherfucker, right there.
Absolutely.
So who do you have coming out of the Midwest?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. And I, out of the Midwest, have West Virginia. An 18-9 team, a 3 seed. And when they get hot beyond the arc, they are a problem.
Yeah. When
they are hot. And they have a ridiculous interior offense that's kind of like almost like an Iowa vibe.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. And then their junior forward is averaging a double-double. And their notable wins, Georgetown, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech twice, Kansas, and Texas. I think West Virginia is a team that people need to start looking at. Even though they're a 3 seed and they're already up there as far as keep an eye out, I think they're an underrated 3 seed. I don't think people are really looking at West Virginia, the Mountaineers, coached by, what's his name? I'm spacing it. West Virginia basketball coach is
Bob Huggins.
Bob Huggins, that's right.
Huggins.
He's a damn good coach. So I honestly think a team that has notable wins, like I said, twice over Texas Tech. That has your boy McClung.
Texas Tech, good team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very good team to look at coming out of the Midwest, and that's who I have going to the Final Four, and actually ultimately winning this whole bracket for me. I have West Virginia going up against who do I have? West Virginia and LSU. And then I have West Virginia beating LSU 70-68.
Yeah, dude, that's fair. And West Virginia's a good team. Obviously, good resume. Good 3 seed. Maybe could have even been a 2 seed. Yeah. I have West Virginia going to the Elite 8, losing to Oklahoma State.
Okay.
The reason I like Oklahoma State in that matchup is because of Cade Cunningham. I think a big thing in March is all of these games, the majority of them are going to come down to the wire, right? Mm-hmm. And it's really hard for teams like – I'm a Purdue fan, so I'm going to use Purdue as an example. Purdue struggles in the tournament because they don't ever really, on a yearly basis, have that guy.
Okay.
That when we need a bucket, I'm going to feed this dude, and I know he's going to go get a bucket.
Right.
Last time they did was Carson Edwards a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up going to the Elite Eight. Should have gone to the Final Four. Tragic
Should have won the championship.
turn of events there. Just saying.
Should have.
It's hard when a team doesn't have that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State has that guy. And that's why I look at Oklahoma State in that matchup. But West Virginia could definitely come out and beat Oklahoma State. And
So you're winner.
yeah. I have Texas upsetting Gonzaga in the Final Four. I have Ohio State beating Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State in the Final Four. Texas playing Ohio State. And the Ohio State Buckeyes win this tournament. And that's hard for me to say. I hate Ohio. But OHIO, baby, come on now. Ohio State's coming in hot.
The North Carolina Tar Heels. Who do you got?
In the championship,
Yes.
I got Oklahoma State
Versus,
LSU.
and you have as the winner.
Oklahoma State.
All right. So we have Oklahoma State, we have Ohio State, and we have West Virginia. Not State. I like that. Those are 3 good picks. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah, not bad.
So, yeah. But that pretty much sums up the episode. Before you guys leave, just to kind of tie into the rest of the sports world, I kind of want to share a little info. So notable, I guess, the free agent market, right? Aaron Jones re-signs with the Packers. Jonnu Smith re-signs with the Patriots. Mike Judon not re-signs, but signs with the Patriots. Nelson Aguilar signs with the Patriots. Carlos Hyde signs with the Jags. Corey Davis signs with the Jets. Khalil Mack is restructuring his contract as well as Patty Mahomes. And can we get a round of applause for Drew Brees? Great year. Great year, Drew Brees. It's a great year. 20 years in the NFL, 15 with the New Orleans Saints. Hell of a year. Definitely at the round table as far as who's the best quarterback of all time.
Has some of the most ridiculous stats of any quarterback to ever play the game.
Absolutely unbelievable. So he definitely deserves all the credit, all the rewards, all the accolades that he gets.
Absolutely.
Hey, I got one more for you there you didn't get.
What you got?
Gronk, back at the Buccaneers.
That's a good point right there. Gronk
It's a big
did
thing.
re-sign, and Tom Brady did
Tom
restructure
Brady's,
so
yeah.
that they could
Yeah.
add more in there.
He's playing until he's 90.
However, before you leave, if you don't mind taking a look down in the link in the description below, you can get a $20 Amazon gift card that helps support our show. And if you create a paid account via Buzzsprout, you will help our show. Buzzsprout is a podcast program that allows new podcast creators to build a show with ease. They get your show on all major platforms, and they offer many different paid accounts starting at $12 a month, which is really easy, super awesome, and super affordable considering everything they offer, such as directory help, monetization help, and they provide statistics. You can, if you guys are listening and not watching the YouTube, the URL is www.buzzsprout.com/refer_ID equals 1674703. Thanks again for watching. Tuesdays at 5. This is Logan. There's Noah. We got Rufus, Lucas, Roof, Hallower, Roof, Stu behind the studio back there. You know, he's just chilling. Love you, guy. Love you too.
Love you, buddy.
There we go. I like that right there. All right, boys. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate you.